Um, burritobread.com/burrito bread. Did you know I'm alive? How did I get on this floating space rock of a planet? I tell you what, though, I'm surrounded by a very nice rose bush. Oh, wait, they've all died. When did that happen? When did they all die? I don't know. The flag, though, no one likes you in this area, Brisbro. Okay, get out of here, negative man. Negative man? Whatever, however you want to pronounce it. You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. That's good. Is that Austin Powers? It's some Michael Myers movie, isn't it? I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. I think it's an Austin Powers reference. You know what isn't an Austin Powers reference? My life. My life is freaking awesome. Okay? So you Megala Ding Dong go back in travel time. I'm trying to, but I suffer from extreme psychosis or something like that. Whoa, did you just try to die on me, cameraman? I farted. Outside of the corner of your mouth? Precisely. Undo your whole life campaign. Undo your whole life campaign. I'm attempting to, okay? We don't need disassociation at this time, at this present time. This is all you do. This is all you talk to yourself. Or you watch movies. Or you play video games. I don't like that. He reached for a piece of gum and then he decided that he didn't want it. Thank you for that live update story. Okay, the government. I'm the government. Bro, Riz. What's up, monkey?
Hello.
How's your life going? How's your life going?
Oh my god, you broke it! You broke it!
Did you see what God just did?
It was like the Hulk just exploded.
Did you see what God just did to us, man? God didn't do it. You're a flipping narcotics agent. I knew it.
So you gave it authority, huh?
Okay, maybe that's a bit low, but it wasn't a comedy. It was not a comedy. That is.
I just think that there's a chance, there's the slightest chance that comedy to you is different than comedy to some of us, perhaps, maybe. I'm thinking. Because I'm like, how is he not? Because you didn't find. Oh, what'd I do? Lord, what did I do?
I didn't find Weekend at Bernie's.
That was weird. Something happened. I don't know what happened. I'll put Weekend at Bernie's up. Yeah, you didn't find Weekend at Bernie's very funny, and Twins you didn't find very funny. But it's comedy, and the only part that you found funny was the chains were falling, and they just kept falling, and that was funny. And that's the only time you laughed through the whole movie? Ah!
What other stuff was there to laugh at, though?
I mean, I think that a lot of stuff is funny and stupid. Like, I think that physical humor for Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito would use him for reason, like they lifted up the car because he read the book really fast. They lifted up the car to stop the alarm. You know, is that funny? Like, he lifted the car up, but I think that they used physical humor in some capacity there. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose.
Now, I haven't watched this movie in a little while, to be honest.
I suppose how I could see how somebody could find that.
I feel like I enjoyed a lot of that movie. Like, he'd never seen a naked magazine before.
Yeah, was it him busting out of his shirt because his muscles are too big, and then he has to go into the store to get a new shirt? Like,
he walked by a poster of Sylvester Stallone, buff, and he's like, like, that's not funny to you because it is funny. How is it? Like, if I have to explain it to you, clearly our brains are wired differently.
Because they were both action stars around the same time.
They had beef with each other a little bit. And that's why when they were in a movie together, I think it was Escape something. That's why it was when they were in a movie together. Jokes at each other in films like that. For years. Of course, this is the 80s. You were a toddler. You were a baby in diapers when this movie was out. Correct?
If you're saying I wasn't, old enough to really go to the theater, that's correct.
Like, just that because I grew up in those times, and I guess for some reason I find them funny. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Does anyone have their opinion about Twins, if it was funny or not? Or any movie? What's funny? What's not funny?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I guess. I mean, it is funny, but I don't.
Ah! I guess I'll go home alone again. You know.
I haven't watched this movie in a little while. It was interesting. It's a different movie. There's a lot there too, not just the comedy, but there's a lot of interesting. There's the science stuff, and you're like, it's a little out there. Like, how did this guy have a twin? And like, one got the bad genes and one got the good genes, and they like nurtured him with like books and everything, and it was weird, right?
And then they skip over a lot of how that science works. Right?
I know, but they can't. Was it a 2-hour movie?
I don't know, but
because earlier you said 2-hour movie.
I understand why they don't want to go over that science, because even they don't understand it.
In the 80s, right. Well, that's the thing is like they're covering, well, he was in Junior also, and that's another weird one with science stuff.
That's the one where he's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was Emma Thompson. I don't really like her that much. I think she was in that as well.
Scriptwriters just have to come up with the most ridiculous premise and then go with it from there, which I understand. That's their job.
So for 88, 89 movies, it must have been marketing to a different kind of audience, an audience that it was easier to amuse than they are nowadays. Perhaps nowadays people are a lot more grumpy and harder to amuse. I'm thinking that I'm correct when I say that.
Don't insult
I'm
me.
not trying. No. It's real. What I'm saying is real. It's not insulting my good friend over there. It is not doing that.
Listen, what comedies have they come out with over the last couple years?
A lot of comedies now are very just raunchy.
What comes to mind is this crap from 2018 called Tag.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Remember Tag with Jeremy Renner and
I like Jeremy Renner.
Ed Helms?
I know who's in it.
Just utter.
So it's like a misogynistic boys film, and it's the humor's different. They're marketing to a different audience. Is it more misogynistic now? Is it more what? Well, the 80s were pretty gross like that too, though. They're like, oh, that woman looks hot in her little mini skirt, kind of thing,
Right. That hasn't stopped at all over the last 30, 40 years,
Yeah. But I think Twins is a delightful film to watch. I don't think I'd watch it with my children, especially when he's like 30-some-odd-year-old man that loses his virginity.
What's so wrong about that? He's like, he lived on an island.
But we have to believe it all, so is it all believable, right? It's interesting. It's interesting to think about it.
Did you see his dating pool on the island? I mean, there was nobody to do, right? Like, who would he have done?
Anyway, I don't have a lot of time, but I figure we could come on here and chat about that for a few minutes.
And I respect your opinion, and I respect you essentially calling me a sourpuss, and I kind of respect that you're digging into me on my sense of humor.
Well, I hope you don't take it the wrong way. I don't think I'm attacking you or anything like that.
Well, I want to dig right back at you, Kaya, and there is some stuff that you find funny that just ain't flipping funny. Okay,
it's just because that's my brain capacity, sweetie. I'm like a little toddler over here. Like a little shit amuses me so much. Like we were playing that game the other day. I laughed so stinking hard playing that game. It was so dumb and juvenile, but it made me laugh.
What, you mean the animated?
No, I think it was 2 days ago or before that one. It was maybe 3 days ago. It was before that one. Something. Oh, the food and the.
Oh, right, yeah, because that was.
It was so dumb and it made me laugh so much. We're back.
To face a piece of food dish versus an actor, or a food dish versus a movie, the food dish really shouldn't have a chance.
It was super funny.
But,
like we should have done a bologna sandwich, a moldy bologna sandwich to equal out to some of the movies, Anyway, he watched Twins and he's not entirely amused. He gave it a 40. What is your opinion, Hook? And please fill us in because we're discussing humor, things like that. Thank you for the likes.
Remember when we discussed Ferris Bueller's Day Off, for an example, and how I initially hated that movie, and I got you around to my way of thinking of how creepy and how weird it is for the principal to be going around the entire city looking for one student who's supposedly skipping class.
Yeah, he made it like a mission in life to like bring Ferris down. Also, side note, I just found out, I don't know if I sent it to you, but I just found out that guy was on the pedophile list. And I'm like, the guy that played that principal, I did not know this. Like for years, like that was really creepy.
He was on the what list?
Uh,
Like Epstein stuff?
yeah, like not good. Not that I wanted to bring that out on here, but like he always gave me the heebie-jeebies. He always played like that kind of dude. I didn't know until I just saw a video yesterday talking about it. I was like, oh my God.
How unfortunate for him. He must have not had enough money to get the slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting that you say that.
Social
He was in
commentary.
Howard the Duck. He played a creepy guy in Howard the Duck. There's just some other ones he played creepy.
If you have enough money, you get away with that, don't you? You just pay
wow.
a fine and it goes away.
Wow, that's an interesting point. Yeah. Yeah.
America. Land of
So,
the...
Hook, what do you think of Twins? What did you think of Twins? I like Danny DeVito. What a funny matchup. Can you imagine when this movie first came out? Everyone's like, how the heck did they come up with this?
Did you watch my second video on it?
I think I got halfway through before I decided to message you.
I talked about their chemistry, and I talked about the mom, and also I want to point out the mom had this beautiful artist's commune that I want that. I want that for my own life. Oh my God.
I like that. I love that you say that. That's so true. That was really cool. I forgot about that part.
It's stuff that you don't expect to be in a comedy movie. That sort of
I think when you think about how much was in this film and how much they covered and how he had to learn, part of the comedy was Arnold Schwarzenegger learning the lingo and how to fit in. And when the guy would say something like, my back teeth are floating, he didn't know what that meant. Like he had to
didn't know what that meant. What the hell does that mean?
That your bladder's so full that your back teeth are floating. Like that means you really gotta pee. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. And also,
what you're saying is he was a fish out of water.
Right,
you know
right. True. So he had to learn the lingo. He had to learn how to fit in. He was a virgin. Blah blah blah. All these things, you know.
Drive a car. You've never driven a car before. You've never even kissed a girl. He never danced before.
And they also balanced each other out. You think Danny DeVito was just this big criminal crook. You know, he was messing around with women a lot and stuff. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was like the straight and narrow rule following dude. And so together they kind of gave each other a little bit of a balance. Don't you think they kind of like balanced each other and like helped each other a little?
Well, I think Schwarzenegger's character helped DeVito out more.
Well, probably.
Because he started affecting him. And like even DeVito says in the bathroom, he's like, my life has gotten better since you've joined.
Aww.
And I was like, that's so sweet.
That's nice.
And heartwarming. And is it funny that they were two grown men hugging in the bathroom and then the third guy comes in?
Like,
is that the comedy? Or like,
I think so. I think a lot of it's insinuated comedy. There's some physical comedy.
Comedy.
Yeah, the mashup of those two actors in a film together, because that's interesting.
Let me tell you what comedy is. Leslie Nielsen, the Naked Gun, and he goes to do it with the girl, and he puts on a giant human-sized rubber.
That's what's comedy too. So I think that's a little ewish.
And she's got the same one on though, and they're like doing.
I remember that. That's also a little bit too over the top comedy for me. So I see what you're saying though. For you, that's comedy. For me, that's a little bit like too much. Interesting. But that's just because you and I are very different. I'm like a Sagittarius female, a few years older than you. I'm a little I'm a tiny bit naive, but I've lived a long time now, so not really. I don't know.
We both agree about The Love Guru being way better than people hate on it for some reason.
Yeah.
The stuff doesn't work for me often throughout the movie, and that's really just using that as a like dumb Family Guy, punching jokes, violent jokes, Looney Tunes. We all grew up on Looney Tunes, and it was funny seeing Daffy Duck get shot in the face. Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. You
That
know,
was funny.
or Wile E. Coyote
You
jumping
are?
off to the
What?
side of
Are
the
you in
cliff, and
December or November?
he's like running, and
That I do.
only when he looks down does he realize, yikes,
Me.
and then he flops to the bottom. It's nonsensical
I'm
humor.
November. I'm November. Yeah.
And like the translations between cartoons and movies is a big difference, right?
Yeah.
But you can get some of the same effects.
But you also have very little tolerance for certain actors, like Jason Bateman, whom I very much enjoy, and I feel like he's a great. He obviously adds something to movies. For me. So again, it just points that we have differences, so we're gonna see things differently, and that's fine. Cheers.
Okay, I'll look on IMDb right now. Comedy, sorted by number of votes. Right, the most voted comedy movie on all of IMDb is what, Kaya?
I wouldn't know.
Take a shot in the dark.
Well, that's weird. I don't know. Give me like 5 options, and I'll tell you which one I think it is.
Well, I'd have to rearrange them because they'd be in order. I'll just tell you, it's The Wolf of Wall Street, which I don't know if I agree that was a comedy because there's a lot of sex and drugs and gambling, and
No.
I think the scene that is perhaps the most funny is when they take the lewds, right, and then they go super slow. He's like crawling into his car. It's weird, odd kind of humor.
I'll tell you what I think is funny. I think Will Ferrell getting shot in the neck with the dirt
Yes.
is funny, and then and he's like, and he, the other guy's talking to him, and he starts laughing, and it's that part's funny to me. That's funny. I can't remember what movie is that.
That's old school.
Old school, yeah. So it's good. She made apple mead. I don't know how to do that, but that sounds cool. Good job.
What's that? The beginning of Super Troopers. The kids are in the car. They just ate a bunch of shrooms. He's like, sneaks to the front seat. He's like, I'm freaking out, man. And then the cop leans over. He's like, you are freaking out, man. Or like his ear starts to wiggle and like he goes, I can hear sounds. Or like what?
What's that called? The Mannequin movie. Like, how stupid they made a movie about a mannequin, and yet I enjoyed that film. It's a movie about a mannequin, and a guy getting to know the mannequin, then the dog is, and they're like, I don't. It's just funny.
It's like sci-fi kind of.
Yeah.
Movie, right? Not
Yeah,
believable.
it's just fun.
Let's talk about The Truman Show. How much of a comedy that is? About this poor young kid that got adopted and put in a reality TV show where he doesn't actually get to see the real sun. It's a simulated sun.
I don't like it. I don't like that movie. I don't like that movie much.
Okay. I just got a text update about my dad.
Oh, how's it going? Did anything?
I think that said he's good. I'm not sure.
Okay.
He's not dead,
We'll get
at
off.
least.
We'll get off in a couple. We'll get off this in a few minutes. We can.
We got 15 minutes left, and so much room for activities.
Step Brothers.
And then the bunk bed slams out.
They don't know how to work screwdrivers, drills. They're 40-year-olds that cannot do it.
Did you put your nuts on my drums?
I know Cops is not until 4. And like they're watching Shark Week. It's Shark Week. You can't take away our TV privileges at Shark Week.
Where was the comedy in the Truman Show?
I don't know. Do you know Hook? Because I don't know. I think it's definitely more.
This is where I want us to do our lives from now on, where we play lawyers, where we have to defend certain films.
I don't really like. I'm so on the fence with Truman Show because I like Jim Carrey, but I don't like the outcome of it and how they tricked him. And it proves like programming. They were programmed him to be scared of the water, so he couldn't swim, and they did all this stupid shit. Yeah.
He got free. Like
she's spaced out. I love you. You're so funny.
When he walks out that door at the end and takes a bow, I had this thought to myself that's very interesting. What if he knew the whole flippin' time a lot longer than they thought he did? And he was literally putting on a performance that entire time.
Well, that's interesting. The Island. I've seen The Island. Have you seen Spiderhead? It's also like The Island. Check that one out if you have not seen it.
We both enjoyed Spiderhead. It needed a little bit more in certain places.
It was definitely interesting.
But
It had a good start.
The architecture of
I liked it.
every room in there looks really cool, and there's cement walls everywhere. I don't know how they got that place to film.
Remind me who's in The Island, because I forgot.
That's Ewan McGregor and I think Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
And it's a kind of clone sort of movie.
Yeah, it's me because maybe The Island possibility. Something reminded me of Spiderhead a little.
They're clones of celebrities specifically, just in case the celebrity dies.
I have to rewatch another movie. I feel like they had good soundtrack. I feel like they had a song from Incubus on the island, if I remember right, that I loved. Christmas in July. Christmas in July.
Who let that be a thing? I do not let that be a thing.
I do. I do. No, my kids go trick-or-treating in July. It's not Christmas, it's Halloween. And they get dressed up and they do that at a camping thing. It's really fun. So much fun.
Every day is Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, I finally found one I agree with in the top 10, and it's Finding Nemo.
Okay, cool.
Finding Nemo is a good comedy to me. What were some of the jokes from Finding Nemo that we like? Keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
You hear that a lot, yep.
Yeah. What's another joke from that?
I don't know what that means.
Call me squishy, and you shall be my squishy.
I know, my kids say that sometimes. Yeah. I would love him. What other ones? It's just that comedy's different, I think, now.
The banter between Marlon and Dory. I promised I'd never let anything happen to him. That's a funny thing to promise. What? Well, you can't never let anything happen to him, then nothing would ever happen to him. Not much fun for little Harpo.
When they're talking about touching the boat, don't touch that boat, Nemo, don't touch that boat. It sounds like at some point they're like saying, don't touch that butt or something. There's a part that sounds like butt. I don't know why. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry that I feel like
says,
I should know.
Touched the butt. I touched the butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I quote it all the time. Did you die?
Yeah.
Did you die?
Yes, that's also in the movie Hangover 2. The guy has his sunglasses on. Zach Galifianakis has his sunglasses on, and he's like, give me my sunglasses back. Don't steal my sunglasses. Did you die? Because he was like dead in that ice thing all day.
Oh,
like not dead, but you know what I mean. That whole part was weird.
Is that a reference
funny.
To Finding Nemo?
Halloween in Celtic tradition. Oh, that's fun.
Friends, not food.
Can't believe. Yes, that's funny. You do quote that. I've heard you say that.
Fish your friends, not food.
I didn't realize that. How come I didn't know that? Maybe I did. No, I don't know.
Nemo says, "What's that?" I know what that is. Sandy Plankton saw one. He called it. He said it was called a butt. That's a pretty big butt. Oh, look at me! I'm gonna touch the butt.
Yeah.
I'm H2O intolerant. The movie is hilarious with all kinds of jokes in it.
I need coffee or something. Holy cow.
You're feeling drained again?
It's 7:20 for me. That means it must be 4:20 for you.
I do have a blunt somewhere.
That's funny.
Monsters, Inc. is also in the top 10.
Oh, wow.
Toy Story. So people really find the animated movies the comedy gold in popularity. There's this one called Snatch. I didn't like Snatch.
I didn't like Snatch, but Brad Pitt's in that. And wasn't that he has an accent, like an Irish accent maybe or something?
Yeah, they keep going on about dogs. Dags.
Yeah.
Dags? Dogs. They call them dags.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that the running joke?
Maybe.
Apparently.
Snatched Blue. I know. I didn't care for it, and I like Brad Pitt, so it's got to be pretty lousy if I didn't get down with it.
Oh, look. Number 14. Budapest Hotel.
No kidding. I still gotta watch
I
that
don't
one.
know how funny you would find it, but it's certainly quirky.
Okay, I'll get back to you when I finally watch it. I'll let you know. So I have to find ones I can watch, like streaming on either HBO. No. I watch Max, Hulu, Netflix, but I don't have like. Did you freeze? Are you okay? There you are. You're back. Okay. Who froze? Was it me or was it you? I was like, I'm like, what happened? I watched that last night, Sean. Oh, what did you watch last night? The Great Grand Budapest. Oh, it's on Tubi. Then I'll try watching it later, after my meditation that's coming up soon. Woosah.
Argh.
I know. That's a fun
I
one.
still think that's a hilarious joke.
I know. I like it too. I think that's great. Now, who wrote that movie? Who wrote and did all that movie? Because that's funny. I find that movie, whoever did it needs more attention, and I need to watch more of their stuff. And if it was Mike Myers, I just love him.
I'm sure he had a lot to do with the improv.
Yeah.
Yes, it says he did write it, and Graham Gordy, whoever that is.
I think that might be somebody that did, Grandma's Boy. No, that probably isn't it.
Well, this guy isn't known for comedy at all.
No kidding. Thank you. We're making this a quick live. We mostly came on to talk about twins and how he didn't find it that funny. So then we're discussing what's funny.
Like I'm bashing the film.
Camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two. Is that funny? Yes, it is.
The first one was well. The second one was like, what? What?
Yeah.
They didn't quite follow it up.
Grandma's Boy, yeah, Grandma's Boy.
Yes, dude, I'm way too high to drive to the devil's house. That's my favorite line.
And he's not a huge fan of Dane Cook yet. I am. I know. We have our differences. We can't be the same person. That would be dumb. That would be dumb. Then we'd have nothing to discuss on the show.
Do you really like Employee of the Month?
I like that. Yes, because what happens is Dane Cook grows as a character in that show. He gets motivated. He gets up early. He makes his coffee. He learns. He impresses his grandmother. I kind of like that. And again, remember, I watch things now, specifically now. Like I watched a movie today and I just kind of interpret things in a spiritual, holy shit, did I just get spinny? I was moving my chair back and forth and I just got really dizzy from doing it. Like I should stop that. God. Anyway, I'm okay.
I don't want to overwhelm you, so I'll just be quiet.
That's okay. That was really weird. Sometimes I do weird shit. My Sister's Keeper, is that depressing? Is that a depressing movie?
5 minutes, Mr. President.
Okay, countdown. I better get off soon because my friend is probably, I'll have to make sure I don't go late. I went late last week. Vermont boy. Hello, Vermont boy. I'm also in Vermont. Oh.
Awesome power.
Every hour.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Come back and join us next time on the Monkey Show.
More discussions on movies and what's funny and what's not. And she said my Sister's Keeper is, she wants to know what you thought of it.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, even though we were trying to end the show.
Oh, tell them to follow me.
Yeah, make sure you are following Sean. I'm sure you probably are. He posts his movie reviews. He dishes on monologue. Yeah, she's following you.
I promise I'll do more monologues.
Cool.
Okay.
Bye everyone.